Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for Unlock the Power of Trespa TopLab Surfaces for OEM Applications, presented by Peerless High Temp and Formica. We're just going to wait a few minutes here while we make sure any stragglers are able to join, so we will get started shortly. Okay, thank you. I think we've given it enough time now, so we will go ahead and get started here. Thank you for joining us for this webinar, Unlock the Power of Trespa TopLab Surfaces for OEM Applications, presented by Peerless High Temp Fabrication and Formica. My name is Charlie Hathaway. I am the Customer Support Manager at High Temp Fabrication, and today we have joining us the Sales Manager at Formica, Christian Cole. So just a little bit about Peerless High Temp Fabrication. We are a leading fabricator and provider of non-metallic materials, helping a diverse, skilled customers tackle complex projects and industry challenges with attention to detail, attention to safety, detail, efficiency, and reliability. We machine scientific surfaces for laboratory and medical applications, electrical insulators, and refractory solutions, and not specifically on non-metallic materials. We do also have a sister company, Peerless, that has a few divisions. The first division is Peerless Process. They serve a diverse range of industries, including chemical, pharmaceutical, power, food, and beverage, mainly in the MRO space. And we have Peerless Procore. They specialize in serving OEM customers, custom equipment engineers, skid builders, and CapEx projects. All three divisions are located in the same facility in Buffalo, New York. We are strategically located both near the 90 Interstate Thruway and the Buffalo Niagara Airport. You can also see some pictures from our fabrication shop. You can see the material and also our machines. Okay, a little bit about the team members at High Temp Fabrication. We have our president, David McKendry, CEO Kurt Wozniak. We have a dedicated application engineer, Zach Corlett. We also have two other engineers on staff as well. Then you also have myself, the customer support manager, Chris Rudnicki, who's an account manager and who would be your primary contact. And finally, Alan Creech as well, who's been in this industry for probably more years than you would like me to mention. So I'll just leave it at that. So now I will pass it over to Chris Rudnicki, who is going to do a few housekeeping items, and then we'll get started with Christian. So Chris, take it away.
Thank you very much, Charlie. We want to make this presentation as interactive as possible, so everyone has a chance to get involved, and we encourage questions throughout the presentation. Whether you want a topic expanded on or have an application-specific question, please don't hesitate to ask. There's a couple ways to do that. You can raise your hand if you'd like, and we'll call on you, or you can use the chat. I'll be monitoring that, and we'll ask questions through that form as well. So, if there's anything you need, put it in that chat, and I will get your question asked and get an answer for you. So, thank you. So I'll turn it over to Christian, and we can get started.
Great. Share my screen here. So everybody can see. All right. Is everybody you're able to see the presentation?
Yep, we're good.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you both, Charlie and Chris, for the introduction. I'm Christian Cole. I am the Trespa TopLab sales manager for Formica. If that's a little bit confusing, Formica now manages the Trespa TopLab brand in North America. So before being a Formica employee, I did work for Trespa for 13 years. So I have a fair amount of experience and have been working with Peerless High Temp for many years. They're a wonderful partner, a great fabricator, specializing in some very detailed, intricate projects. So we're really happy to be a part of this webinar. This presentation will be about the Trespa TopLab. It is a phenolic resin panel that is made specifically for interior applications, very highly specialized applications like laboratories, robotics, automation, pharmaceutical, laboratory spaces, research and development. It is a very high performing panel. Again, it's a pressed panel. If you're not familiar with phenolic resin, it's a wood-based panel. It's made with cellulose fibers, wood fibers, and then phenolic resins. It's about 70% cellulose fibers that are completely saturated with about 30% of those resins. This is all pressed together under very high heat and very high pressure, make a very high performing, decorative and durable panel that is a wonderful panel for lots of different types of interior applications. So our partners, we want to make sure that you guys are partnering with reliable manufacturers and fabricators like Trespa TopLab, Formica, and High Temp Fabrication. Trespa TopLab actually invented the technology to make the first phenolic resin panel for an indoor application over 60 years ago. And I'm sure you are all familiar with Formica. They have a huge catalog of products and different brands. Formica has been in business for over 110 years. And then High Temp Fabrication has been one of our best partners going back over 10 years. So we want you to know that we have the partnership, the reliability, the quality. We're here to help solve your problems for very specialized interior applications. So the nice thing about the Trespa TopLab panels is there are several different panels we have in the product line, and they can be used for lots of different types of applications, as you see in some of these pictures here. It can be used for both horizontal applications like work surfaces, shelving, but it can also be used for vertical applications, aviation wall lining, clean rooms, fume hood liners, hospital suites, OR suites, and even just in decorative spaces like lobbies, hallways, auditoriums, things of that nature. So very quickly, here are the three products that are available in the Trespa TopLab line. They're all for interior applications. We have on the left there Trespa TopLab Plus and Trespa TopLab Plus Align. These are designed for the most specialized areas where you're going to need the highest chemical stain resistance, impact resistance. Again, made for horizontal applications, so for work surfaces, shelving. In the middle, we have Trespa TopLab Vertical. As the name implies, it's made for vertical applications. Both Plus Line, Plus, and Vertical all have the same acrylic surface that is cured with an electron beam, which gives it a completely closed and non-porous surface. And it's going to have the highest performance properties of all of the brands noted here. Trespa TopLab base on the right can be used for both horizontal and vertical applications. It is a melamine top surface, so it doesn't have the acrylic EBC. The melamine surface is a very good surface. It's made more for general use areas or maybe dry laboratories where you may not need the highest chemical or stain resistance. And as you can see at the bottom, this shows some of the physical properties that make it such a high-performing panel. Excellent chemical stain resistance. It does not support bacterial growth. It's a hygienic surface because it's closed and non-porous, very smooth. Very high scratch and wear resistance, very high impact resistance, very cleanable. You can use any of your standard cleaning agents like bleach solutions, hydrogen peroxide, steam, acetone. It is certified to be used in applications where it comes in contact with food, so laboratories like for the FDA. It has very good machinability characteristics. It cuts similarly to hardwood panels. So it can be made into pretty much anything you could make out of a wood panel, you can use Trespa TopLab for. Very easy installation. It's a very light material compared to some of the other materials that are used in laboratories, like say epoxy resin. It's 40% lighter than epoxy resin. Very easy to install, and all of the TopLab panels come with a 10-year warranty. So this shows you a little bit about how the panels are made, composed. They're essentially, this is what it looks like before it goes into the press. You have the cellulose core, which can either be craft paper that is saturated with those phenol-based resins, which is shown on the left here, or you can have a pre-manufactured core like on the right here, which is called like a pre-preg core. Both have very similar properties. They're going to have the same performance. And then you have a different surface. On the left, a melamine-based surface. On the right, an acrylic-based surface that's cured with an electron beam. Both very good surfaces and both great for all types of interior applications. We've talked about these a little bit, all the properties that make it so good for interior applications. It is a very stable panel. It's extremely flat, structurally stable. The thickness tolerance for a Trespa TopLab panel, over an 8-foot span, it will be within a thickness tolerance of less than 0.4 millimeters. So it will be within a thickness tolerance of less than half of a millimeter over an 8-foot span, which makes it great for robotic spaces where you're going to have very sensitive equipment on it that might need ESD properties or high vibration. Very good for specialized applications. What really matters about the product is the certified performance. So all the certifications and testing that we do for our panels are very important. You want to make sure that you're getting the highest performance panel, and you don't need to just take our word for it. It's backed up by independent third-party testing agencies like CIFA. ICIGA is a certification for contact with food. It is certified for Cleanroom applications. These are some of the certifications that come with all of the Trespa TopLab panels. They're all going to have an EPD statement, which is very important. A lot of designers these days are not putting any products into their specifications unless they have an EPD statement. All the wood that is used in TopLab is FSC certified. So it's all recycled wood content that comes from managed forests. So we're able to provide FSC and LEED documentation on our panels. We can trace the wood back to the forests where it was harvested. All the TopLab panels have a GreenGuard Gold certification for indoor air quality. This is in regards to VOCs, off-gassing, things of that nature. GreenGuard Gold is the highest certification you can get. We do have a USDA BioPreferred, a red label certification. We have CIFA certification, which is a chemical and stain test. It's a 24-hour stain test for horizontal applications. CIFA 8 is a 1-hour certification for vertical applications, but we have testing reports for both of those. On the right, you can see a chart there that shows some of the points that we can contribute to for LEED certification. So this is really important if you have customers that are really focused on sustainable projects, LEED certification. We can help you with any of those types of projects. So we've talked about the high performance of the material. It's also a decorative panel. We have over 200 color options: wood grains, solid colors, metallics, stones, different finish options. So it's not only a high performing panel, it's also a decorative panel. You want to make sure that you have design flexibility. So in these specialized spaces, you don't have to go with just a white or a black or a gray color scheme. You really can branch out and use lots of different colors and finish options. So it gives you a lot of design flexibility. Now, high performance and decorative, great to have in a panel, but it only matters if those surfaces and these panels are durable materials. They have to be able to last and withstand the use that they are being applied for. So all Trespa TopLab panels have a 10-year warranty, and it covers all of our material properties: stain, chemical resistance, scratch wear resistance, impact resistance, moisture resistance. So you're going to get a high-performing decorative panel that's going to be durable and last. There are lots of different options. We have different sheet sizes, anywhere from 6 feet by 8 foot all the way up to 7 feet by 14 feet. So it can be used in applications like for wall applications where you don't want to have a lot of seams. We have very large panel sizes. As you can see here, lots of different thickness options from 1/4 inch to 1 inch. You can do different colors on either side of the panel. So if you're using it for like casework or cabinets, you can have a wood grain on the outside. You can have a white color on the inside. Lots of design options, so we can fit pretty much any type of application. Here are some of the areas of use that we've talked about already: clean rooms, healthcare applications, laboratories, of course, again, robotics, automation, R&D labs, data centers. But then again, it can also be used in specialized spaces that for wall applications like aviation, wall paneling, lobbies, things like that. We really can be used for almost interior surfacing application. So Trespa, like I said, has been making phenolic resin panels for over 60 years. This picture on the right is a picture of the R&D facility located in the Netherlands. This is at the Trespa headquarters. We do all of our R&D for the Trespa and Formica brands here. It's called NEMO. It stands for the New Material House. It's only a 3-year-old facility. It is state of the art, and this is where we are creating all of our new products that we're bringing to the market, so we stay the leader in the industry. We also have been designing a new type of resin that can be used in substitution for that phenol-based resin. A phenol resin is a synthetic resin, and it's not a bio-based material. We've developed a new process where we can replace half of those phenol resins with a plant-based resin called lignin. It's present in 98% of plants on this planet. And it allows us to get up to 83% bio-based content for our panels. This is absolutely unique in the industry. And again, this goes into the sustainability message, LEED certification, and this is unique to Trespa. Something also unique to Trespa is in our Trespa TopLab Plus Align product. It actually has a negative carbon footprint. You can see in this chart here that the market standard actually has a positive carbon footprint. Our base has a lower carbon footprint, but then Plus and Plus Align both have negative carbon footprints. This means they embody more carbon in the panel than it takes to manufacture it. This is also unique in the industry, and TopLab Plus and Plus Align are the only panels that you can purchase that do have a negative carbon footprint. This is great because it allows you to offset other carbon in the laboratory or interior applications. Again, the machining of the material is very easy. This is why we have wonderful partners like Peerless High Temp. They are masters, experts in what they do. They know how to route, cut these panels for almost any application. And this is why we have excellent partners. They'll talk about this a little bit more when I pass it back over about some of their capabilities in the fabrication. So we do have an online resource where you can access all of the technical information for Trespa TopLab products. It's trespa.info. And if you log on to trespa.info, you can have access to specifications, our testing certifications, any of the machining, handling, cleaning, all those documents are available on trespa.info, but you can also always reach out to myself or even Peerless High Temp, and we can provide any technical information that you might need. So last but not least, a couple of pictures to get you inspired. This shows you a few different applications where Trespa TopLab has been used. And you can see in the different pictures that it can be cut and routed for lots of different applications. Casework, that project in the bottom right-hand corner, that was TopLab Vertical used in a wood grain for the cabinets, and then TopLab Plus Align was used for the work surface. So it can be used in lots of different applications. So please keep us in mind. Think Trespa when you think of specialized interior applications, and think of Peerless as your fabricating partner for Trespa. And with that, I will pass it back over to the Peerless guys, and they're going to talk a little bit more about their capabilities as an expert in the field of fabricating these specialized materials.
Yeah, Christian, before we let Charlie start his presentation, I do have a question. Since it is a wood-based product, how does it stand up to moisture?
Absolutely excellent moisture resistance. We've actually done some testing where we take samples, and you can do this yourself. We encourage our customers to test the material themselves for whatever the application is. You can use it under your specific environments, the chemicals that you'll be using. And we've had customers that will take samples and dunk them in a bucket of water and leave it for weeks and months. Because of the composition of these panels, the wood material is completely saturated with the resins. These are phenol or the lignin-based resins, so it cannot absorb moisture, chemicals, stains, things of that nature. Now, the surface of the material has the protective surface, so it's either going to be that acrylic EBC or the melamine, so that will have the highest performance, but the core has excellent performance as well, and you don't have to worry about moisture resistance. So it can be used in laboratories or environments, like we've done it for the University of Miami for aquatics laboratories. NOAA has used TopLab in some of their aquatic laboratories as well. We've put it into aquatic centers, like for casework in locker rooms, for pools and aquatic centers. So we have lots of project references where very high moisture environments. So we've got any reference you need, we can give you a project reference for it as well.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Christian, and thank you very much for that question as well. And then I will just speak a little bit more about Peerless high temp fabrication and our capabilities. So as you can see, we are an experienced fabricator. We do have the state-of-the-art equipment in our facility with a modern dust-controlled facility, which is extremely important when fabricating these products. We want to make sure our people are safe. We do have commitment to performance. We are a winner of a manufacturer's award for operational excellence, and we also offer very competitive pricing, which is always important as well. And then a little bit more about our machines. We do have two vertical mills, which you can see one of them here. And then this is our second one in TN2P. And then also we have two CNC routers, and this is a picture of one of them. And then you could actually see our dust collection system in pretty well right here. And I will say I did want to give a shout out to our warehouse team. We did celebrate our 700th safe day this week without any incident or loss of activity. So shout out to those guys for being safe. So
Hey, Charlie, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Excuse me. So what type of customizations are available I got a question like, holes, cutouts.
Yes, yep, we could do holes, cutouts, pretty much anything that you would need. There's going to be a few pictures coming up that might give a little bit more clarity, but sort of to Christian's point at the end, if get inspired and we'll be able to fabricate it for you. Thanks, Chris. So we have been focusing on the Phenolic and the Trespa TopLab materials, but we do fabricate a few others. We do have Rockwool, Glass Therm, GPO3, so we can fabricate a breadth of materials all in the non-metallic space. Beyond the materials, we do have an in-house design and programming utilizing Fusion 360. I know I mentioned earlier, but we do have Zach, who is our dedicated high temp fabrication engineer, and then we do have 2 other engineers on staff for support. And then Chris, to your question, we are able to deliver the highly featured parts. There's going to be a few more pictures, but you could see kind of in this bottom right hand corner that there's a lot of different features that we are able to fabricate. So as I mentioned, a few more pictures. You could see on the top left here a picture of our router in action with that dust collection system. You could see some this part down here at the bottom left, piece of Trespa that's a little bit funky shaped, but we were able to fabricate that as well. And then a nice in action picture of our saw cutting the Trespa as well. And then I did want to mention we do like to have a little bit of fun here. So at Peerless, one of our taglines is a can-do attitude. So we have here our can-do room. So we were able to design and fabricate a piece of Trespa TopLab material that you could see that we put can-do right in it. And then also for some sample pieces, we did fabricate these 2 pieces as well that are very similar to a coaster that you would see at home out of the Trespa TopLab. And you could see, I know Christian mentioned the vast array of colors that you were able to get Trespa in. So you could just see a few of them here, a nice green and a sand color. So. And then finally, I did mention Fusion 360, but here is a live in action shot of it, of how our lead machinist was able to design our table there. So you could see it in action, and we can do anything that you would like when in the fabrication space.
Charlie, I have a question that popped up about tolerances and quality, and how do we ensure that?
Oh, yep, perfect. I will try to do my best here. I mean, our engineers and our quality team would most likely do a better job, but we do a first piece inspection by a person that is not the lead machinist on the program. So there's that double check there. We also, when the material's pulled, we have somebody check the material to make sure it's the correct material and to the correct thickness. And then our final check is we have all our drawings or all our inspections take place at the end of fabrication, and they are inspected directly to the drawing. So there's no composition errors on a inspection form or anything like that. And then we do save all those reports as well. So there's a record of who did the inspection and any nonconformances or the majority of the time they pass. So we do keep that record as well. And thanks for that question, Chris. And then as of right now, we would just like to open it up for any additional questions that anyone would have at this time.
Yes, I have 2 that are sort of related. What kind of OEMs benefit most from phenolic surfaces like Trespa? And I guess the second part of that is how does the cost of Trespa compare to traditional materials over time?
Those are good questions, and it's a little bit of a complex answer because I'm still surprised after 15 years of working with Trespa and now Formica, how many new applications we've seen where the phenolic resin panels can be used. Higher education, K-12 laboratories, pharmaceutical. We've done projects for, like I said, NOAA, the FDA. We've done some nuclear labs for NASA, pharmaceutical, biotech, GlaxoSmithKline, Novo Nordisk, Pfizer, and the something I didn't mention is the heat resistance of the panel as well. It's heat resistance up to about 340 degrees. So it's great for OEMs and your customer base that might be using it as a robotics base, something that's going to have a heavy piece of machinery on it that might be producing heat. So I'm always surprised. I usually say that the only limitation where you can use phenolic is it's pretty much limited by your imagination. I'm shocked and surprised at what people have made out of TopLab panels for interior applications. And we've been installing projects in North America for over 35 years. In my 15 years, I've seen 2 warranty claims. So that gives you an idea of how stable and durable and reliable the material is. So pretty much any type of project reference, we probably have pictures if we were allowed to take them, but we can always provide a list of project references too if needed. Cost comparison. So it's oddly competitive when it comes to some of the other materials that are used in laboratory settings. The one used a lot for horizontal like work surface applications is epoxy resin. Epoxy resin is a molded material. It's not a pressed panel. And they use sand as the substrate instead of cellulose. So it's about 40% heavier than TopLab panels. They don't make thicknesses less than 3/4 inch. So you're limited there. I think they have less than 15 colors. Cost difference. Say for 1/2 inch Trespa TopLab plus material. This is just material cost, doesn't include fabrication, but you're looking at $8 a square foot, around there. 1-inch material, $14 to $15 a square foot. So it's very competitively priced. And when you look at all the different types of options, colors, thicknesses, panel sizes, it really just fits for a lot of interior applications.
Thank you, Christian. I got a quick one for Charlie about shipping, turnaround times, and question is how do we offer drop shipping, scheduled releases, or consignments?
Yes, we do. We can do some drop shipments if you're just looking for a a baseboard. And then once it comes to lead time, and we did actually just reimagine our scheduling in our shop. So we run about, I think, about a 4-week lead time as long as the materials in house, and then we do have the capabilities of moving that up. We pride ourselves on being nimble and being creative. Again, I mentioned that can-do attitude. So if you do need anything urgent, our shop can normally turn it around pretty quickly. I know there was an example a few months ago where a potential customer came to us with a completely new design, and we were able to turn it around, I think, in 2 to 3 days, just because they needed it that quickly.
Yeah, in terms of Trespa lead times, we do stock the material here in North America. We've got several different stocking locations. This is one of the benefits of the partnership with Formica, is that we now have access to their entire distribution network, stocking programs, inventory warehouses. So we try to stock, there's so many different options. We don't stock everything, but we do stock about what we sell about 95% of. So the standard colors, black, a couple of grays, a couple of whites, in the standard thicknesses, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch. Lead times on those from us to a fabricator like Peerless is around 1 to 2 weeks if it's in stock. If it's a specialized material, like we don't stock any of the TopLab vertical colors because there's over 140 colors. There's 4 different sheet sizes, all the different finishes. So we don't stock all those because there would be millions of SKUs. So if it has to be pressed and it's pressed in the Netherlands, like vertical is, you're looking at a lead time of around 12 weeks for material. But most of the standard colors, thicknesses, options, we do stock here, so we can turn those around pretty quickly. And then Peerless High Temp is wonderful with their fabrication lead times as well.
All right, thank you both. I don't know if there's anything else anybody has a question on. Feel free to raise your hand and we'll get it answered.
I don't see any questions in the chat.
No,
But if you guys, I know it's a lot of information. We really do appreciate your time. If you have any questions, if you think of anything afterwards, please feel free to reach out to Chris, Charlie, or myself, and we can provide you with answers at any time. So please reach out.
Yes, thank you, Christian, and thank you everyone for attending. We will see you next time.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.